All right, we are back on the Big Money Big Daddy Show. Mark Conley and Dale Pieper. We are helping everybody today because it's enrollment season. But I can't help but mention it's also holiday season. We are still trying to decide what our costumes are going to be for the upcoming live coaching event on October 20th. And so definitely let us know. I mean, we're looking for ideas. We were thinking we were going Batman and Robin, but we'll
it might be too easy.
It might, yeah.
We're not thinking it through very good.
I mean, we just started talking about it on the, as we got into the show today. So you got to cut us some slack. We can come up with something more original than that.
Our daughters would probably say Lilo and Stitch.
No, I'd be one of the My Little Ponies for sure. Without a doubt, that's where they would take me with it. But anyways, kind of back on topic. We were talking in the first segment about signing up for health insurance, and we kind of finished up with disability insurance and making sure that the coverage amount, number one, that you signed up for it, got to have it. Number two, what the coverage amount is and how that aligns with your actual living expenses. Too many times we see people like, oh, I got disability insurance. I'm okay if I get sick or hurt. And we look and they've got $5,000 a month of coverage and they've got monthly living expenses of $10,000 a month. Okay, well, that's a problem. You need to go out on the free market and find some supplemental insurance. And of course, that's something we help our clients with at Wealth Design Group. So if that's something you're interested in reviewing or reviewing your benefits packages altogether, that's something that we'd be happy to do to help make sure that you are getting the most out of the benefit package that you can. One of the things that I mentioned when we were talking about disability insurance was people don't sign up for it not realizing if you were sick or hurt for a year or 2 years, not only would you not save any money for retirement, which you need to be saving somewhere between 10 and 20%, and it's closer to 20% for most people, you would deplete your funds. And so one of the things that I think while we're talking about benefits and building your protection plan and building your moat around your castle is emergency reserves. What should you have in emergency reserves? It is my belief that the financial planning industry is so excited and hyped up on putting money away for retirement that this, for the most part, gets ignored. And I'll take it a step further. I don't think it's just emergency reserves. I believe that it's opportunity reserves because, yeah, I get it. If you took, and if you invested $10,000 a year in a XYZ mutual fund outside of the 401k versus $10,000 a year inside of the 401k, I put it in a little Excel spreadsheet, run it out for 20 years, factor in the tax benefits, and in all likelihood, unless Congress passed rates that made taxes go up, and if that didn't happen, if they stayed the same, yeah, the 401k appears to be the better investment. But you know what it ignored? All 20 years, what about the business opportunity that I had to pass on because all my money was in a retirement plan that I couldn't touch till I was 60 years old? What about the real estate deal that I had to pass on that could have maybe doubled my money? So sometimes you just got to be real. I mean, it's not just a spreadsheet, people. You've got to put together a plan that, we set up retirement plans at Wealth Design Group. It's a big part of what we do is work with business owners and develop different types of retirement strategies to give great tax deductions and great investments for the employers and the employees. But we also aren't telling people that that's where they should put all their money because you need to have some money set aside for an emergency, like talking about if you did get sick or hurt and you were disabled. But aside from that, an opportunity. I'm kind of looking more at the glass is half full, Let's look for opportunities that are out there. And I think that gets ignored. And that's one of the first things that we believe in when we're establishing a financial plan. We believe in protection first. And part of that protection is not only having emergency reserves, but opportunity reserves, having a war chest that we can go to deploy assets for the opportunities that will present themselves. And they present themselves more often than not. And I know everybody always, it's a once in a lifetime chance. Well, watch, you'll have quite a few of those, and by the way, many of those will turn out not to be such a once in a lifetime chance. But at least if you've got the money, you can give yourself the opportunity to do that if and only if you have protected yourself first. So a little bit of the soapbox on building a war chest and having reserves. That brings me to, so disability insurance, that's kind of protecting you if you get sick or hurt before you retire. And a lot of companies now are offering packages to be able to purchase long-term care insurance. So this would be protection in the event after you retire that you had Alzheimer's or you needed someone to come assist in your home. And these plans, a lot of times through the employer, are priced very well. So you've got to take a serious look at them. Now,
all these benefits are, by the way.
Well, yeah.
I mean, from a cost perspective. So then it's just a matter of understanding, are what you're getting, is it worth that cheaper cost? Because sometimes it is more reasonable to go out there on the open market. But for long-term care, no doubt, a lot of times it's way cheaper to buy it inside your business.
Yeah, and I mean, long-term care is getting very expensive on the individual market. We're actually seeing a lot fewer people purchasing traditional insurance. Now, we're actually seeing a lot more people are purchasing kind of a hybrid now where you just do a one-time lump sum of like $50,000, or you can do it $5,000 over a 10-year time frame, and it buys you a pool of, say, as it would depend on your age, but as an example, I'd buy you a pool of like a $200,000 benefit. But if you don't use it, then at that point, you actually would get your money back, or if you died, it would pass on to your heirs. And a lot of people are saying, you know what, I was leaving that money just sitting in the bank getting, 0.1% interest or whatnot. So we are seeing that. But if you've got it through your employer, this is something you've got to look at. You need to have an expert look at it. That's what we do at Wealth Design Group. One of the first things we do is we sit down, we do a full analysis of all your employee benefits, and this is a great time to look at those benefits, know how to choose those, and then how to supplement them if need be in the outside market. And so if that's something you're interested, just give us a call. Let's set up a time. We'll have a talk. 713-826-0426, 713-826-0426. Also, you can email us at bmbd@wealthdesigngroup.net. You can check us out on our website. That's wealthdesigngroup.net. What else? We got, text us if you'd like. We'll get some information out to you. Text Daddy to 72727. And I just think that we've got a great opportunity that if you reach out to us, we can reduce your stress, or at least we hope we can reduce your stress. I guess I can't guarantee that. But we can give you some insight, I should say, into looking through your benefits and helping you out there. So I think that would be valuable if you'd take advantage of that. Okay, what do we got? Let's talk about the other major benefit, life and accidental death and dismemberment, AD&D. So that's another type of insurance protection that we see that you're evaluating. And so there's normally some kind of core base amount that you can get, and then you have a choice to buy up. It'll be like you can get 3 times your salary, and then they'll normally have some kind of maximum. Maybe it's $500,000. Now, Dale was just talking about some of the pricing of group insurance plans. This is an area that's actually interesting in that the pricing in the group insurance sometimes, obviously you're going to take what's free, but sometimes the pricing you're getting in the group insurance plan isn't cheaper than what you can get in the marketplace, or it is cheaper today, but when you actually look that the cost goes up every 5 years, if you're looking for kind of a 20-year type plan, it'll actually cost you more in the long run than if you just paid a little bit more today and you were healthy, you were able to get the insurance. One of the benefits of being able to get it through your employer is you don't have to answer any health questions. So bear that in mind, of course. But a lot of times we can find that you can put a better deal in place because term life insurance is super cheap. There's a lot of different carriers out there, easy to get. Again, that's one of the things that we would be able to sit down and look at for you. So when I look at life insurance, I think one of the big questions is, number one, and what you need to determine, how much should you have in the first place? That needs to be where you start before you're worried about, do I sign up for 3 times, 4 times, 5 times my salary? Because you Google this stuff and, man, I see all kinds of things out there. You need 7 times. You need 15 times. You don't need any life insurance because you'll be dead. Your family will be fine. Whatever it may be. And I guess they all make their argument. This is how we think through it. Very simple, but it's the way I think the appropriate way. Number one, when you get life insurance, that's love insurance. That is, in the event of my untimely death, it does matter to me that my family has money to continue making either all or a portion of the income that I was lovingly bringing them every day with my hard work. That's it. So let's just, what you need does not apply because you don't need anything. As I stated, you are dead. This is what you want for your family. I think the best way to look at it is simply this. Take the amount of life insurance you have. So let's just use $1 million policy. And say, for instance, you own $1 million. If you died, your family would get $1 million. They would then take that $1 million, they would invest it, and let's assume that they've been listening to our radio show so they know how to invest it properly in a portfolio that is broadly diversified in over 45 different countries with all the different asset classes and over 15,000 different positions. They know how to do it. Well, that's not for the show today, if that piqued your curiosity. If you did that, it would be reasonable, not a guarantee, but reasonable that you could take about 5% off that. That would be $50,000 a year. So if you were making $50,000 a year and you have a $1 million life insurance policy, you are lovingly saying that even if I am gone, I want my family to have the money that I was still bringing them to accomplish their retirement goals, their college goals, their dreams, the things that I still wanted to happen. That's option one. Now, if you're making $100,000 and you have that $1 million, you're saying, I think if they have half of what I make, because granted, you'd be gone. So if you're the big spender of the family, maybe, you can make that argument. You got to do what you feel's right. But if you're making 150 or 200,000 and you're leaving them with $1 million, now you're just kind of saying, I bought this insurance because my wife told me I had to.
Right.
Or it could be the other way around as well. But that's what you need to think about. So it's pretty inexpensive to get the amount of life insurance you want. So decide what you want first. The income you would want to provide for your family, divide that number by 0.05. Okay? So you're making 100,000, and if you say I want them to have 100,000, that divided by 0.05 tells you exactly what you need for your life insurance. Okay? So you're gonna need $2 million of life insurance in that example. All right? Hopefully you take that. Then you say, okay, that's the goal of what I'm trying to achieve. You go to your benefits and you figure out how much you can sign up for there. Guess what? You're going to find out you're short, and then you know what you need to go out in the marketplace. While you're doing that, you might actually find you can get a cheaper deal when it comes to life insurance. Accidental death and dismemberment, I'm going to touch on that in this next segment, but don't think that that's going to be there. You cannot count on it. That's why, by the way, it is so cheap and it entices you, but don't let that fool you into thinking that it's enough.
So we're going to take a quick break and come back for the third segment, so don't leave us yet. We're going to touch some more on insurance. We're going to talk about 401ks, so make sure you stay tuned. Before we take a break, though, make sure you get signed up for our next coaching event on October 20th. You can text the word DADDY to 72727. Text the word DADDY to 72727. You can show up, get good information, good food at Papado, and you can see our cool costumes. So make sure that you're sending us your ideas, which you can do that. You can text those to us at 713-826-0426, or you can also email us those ideas at bmbd@wealthdesigngroup.net, bmbd at wealthdesigngroup.net. So we're going to take a break. Stay tuned. We'll be back talking more about some benefits and 401ks.
Big money, big daddy.